Greetings, friends! Today, I want to showcase the complete endgame guide for my Foulborn Blade Blast Assassin build in Path of Exile Curse of the Allflame. In this video, I will cover everything you need to know like gems, gear slots, passives and jewels. This build uses many expensive items, so the minimum amount of currency I recommend to start making the build is around 100 divines and at least a character with level 95. But I will also talk about budget alternatives and a way cheaper variation for the build in the gear section of this video. This is the level 99 assassin build that is using an attack called Kinetic Blast, allowing us to critical strike and activate custom crit linked with spell blast for our main damage source. Every time we attack with our wand, a unique called the Poet's Pen, a spell called Blade Fall will rain down on enemies with a 0.25 seconds cooldown as long as it's socketed in this particular item. This is a combo that happens automatically. Blades fall down and get detonated immediately every time we attack. The build strengths are its clear speed and satisfying gameplay. We are pretty hard to kill and we can do most content except uber bosses, but there are a couple of modifiers that completely wrecks us, mainly physical damage. For our defenses, we are Chaotic Inoculation, making us immune to chaos damage with 5500 energy shield and an effective health pool of 41,000. Our resists are 81% cold, 78% lightning, 77% fire. Our chance to block is 75%. We have 64% chance to spell block. When we block anything, we recover 2% of our armor as energy shield and also gain 23 energy shield every time we hit anything with our attacks or spells. With the Granite Flasks up, we get 8600 armor with 45% estimated physical damage reduction. This is up all the time, and our mana is 1500, but it's mostly preserved. We are immune to, well, almost everything. You don't believe me? Here's the list. All elements like freeze, chill, shock, and ignite, scorch, sub, brittle, immune to any reflected damage, 100% reduced effect of curses, making us immune to them. By using our Pantheon, we get main and blind immunity. Our Ascendancy makes us immune to extra damage with strikes. Our boots provide us with corrupted blood immunity. And our jewels can be min-maxed even further for hinder immunity. Now, if we could only get bleed immunity too, I would have been content of saying we are immune to absolutely everything. One thing I have to mention is that we reach our block through glancing blows, which makes us take 65% of the damage on hit, as well as divine shield that does not allow us to recover energy shield above armor, making the roll on our shield very important for our overall defenses. For our offense, we have 60 million DPS on PoE Ninja and we stack 10 power charges and 10 frenzy charges with 100% critical strike chance on our spell Blade Blast and 1190 critical damage. We are bifurcating our crits, meaning we crit twice. Kinetic Blast is at 100 critical strike chance and 100 chance to hit, but that's only because we are using a level 21 precision. On a budget, you could settle for having a level 10 precision, for example, because even 96% chance to hit is enough, considering Kinetic Blast has 4 additional explosions on a single projectile. Now, let's check out the skill gems we are using. Our main spell is socketed in our body armor. The links are Kinetic Blast, increased critical strike support, increased critical damage support, cast on critical strike support, and Blade Blast. It is very important we min-max the gems here with level 21 and 20 quality for maximum DPS. You will see this is a trend in the build. I'm trying to min-max everything that is possible. Our Blade Fall is socketed in our wand and is linked with enhance and greater spell cascade support. It is very important that we link the Blade Fall in our main weapon. Our movement skill are our offhand and they are shield charge linked with momentum and faster attacks. We also have a flame dash linked with faster casting in our gloves. Our auras are 2 core links with enlightened core. Although this is quite expensive, in order to get both clarity and precision at a decent level, we need as much less reservation multiplier as possible. First, in our boots we socket Val clarity, precision, discipline linked with enlightened core. This can be a level 3 enlightened if you don't care about min-maxing precision for 100% chance to hit. Then, in our helmet, we have Enlightened Core linked with Herald of Purity, Hatred, and Purity of Elements, all level 21. I recommend switching the Herald of Purity with the Discipline in here and having them linked with the Enlightened Core if you're decided to use the level 3 Enlightened on the other for you. Now, you might say, Amon, this is so expensive, I don't have this kind of money. Relax, brother, I got you. If you go to the PoE Ninja link in the description of this video, just simply go to the time machine from the right corner and click on day 4 or 5. Here is my league starter that is very similar to what I'm doing currently, but it's of course way cheaper. Way cheaper. We're talking 10 divines for the total build. It is also less potent because it uses the Foulborn Death's Harp, but we rely on life, spell suppression and evasion for our defenses, as well as getting ailment immunity from Ancestral Vision unique jewel. But rest assured, it should manage any Atlas strategy you throw at it, as long as you realize it's a budget league starter. That means don't do 100% delirious originator maps if possible. I will quickly showcase the budget gear on the screen right now, but if you follow the step I just showed you, you'll be able to go to the link at any time and inspect in details what items you need and gems, most of which we use for the current build. I have been using this league starter for 2 days to farm stat techs and essences, and I got all my money necessary for the current build. Now for the main gear, I will start off with our uniques, since I call this build Foulborn Blade Blast. As you can probably guess, we are using a lot of Foulborn items for the best of their potential. Most importantly, our wand, the Poet's Pen, allows all of this magic to happen by triggering the socketed blade fall with a 0.25 second cooldown whenever we attack. The Foulborn version gives us 3 to 5 physical damage to spells per 3 players level, that's why I stopped at level 99, but the regular version works just as fine, just less damage. Then our amulet, Badge of the Brotherhood, which is also Foulborn, anointed with Charisma. Both of these items can be the regular version of themselves for a way cheaper price, but we lose a bunch of movement speed and a little bit of extra damage, like I said. Definitely not mandatory, but is a great thing to min-max in the endgame. Our shield, Aegis Aurora Foulborn, allows us to be immune to reflect and also gives us a bunch of nice defensive stats. The last upgrade for me would be to get this shield on a perfect roll, double corrupted with some useful implicits. You could also use the regular version of this item if you have budget constraints. But being immune to reflected damage is very nice, since we are doing both physical and elemental. Our body armor, Foulborn Incandescent Heart, allows us to get increases to our light radius, to count for accuracy, and is also giving us 25% of elemental damage taken as chaos damage. Since we are chaos inoculation, this is a flat 25% less elemental damage taken. I corrupted it for +2 AoE gems, ideally with like double corruption with +2 AoE gems and +1 gems. But I've tried doing this at least 15 times earlier in the league and haven't got lucky. So I settled on just +2. Our last unique are the boots Ralakish Patience, that gives us maximum count of frenzy charges. In combination with our amulet Badge of the Brotherhood, this allows us to have as many frenzy charges as power charges, and since we are stacking those, this combination is a must. I also double corrupted them for some nice implicits. Now for the rare gear, we want them to be the best possible base for the biggest number of energy shield. That's why we try to use items that are exceptional with extra quality, or that have 100% base percentile on our helmet and gloves. For our helmet, we just need a Lich's Circlet with Warrior Influence. We roll it either by Alchemy and Scour, using Essence of Woe, or Horticulture Craft with Reforge Crit. Depending on your wallet and how much time you want to invest into getting this, you might be wanting to purchase it for around 30 diviners, but in my case, I just done it with some Essences of Woe. For our gloves, we want as much energy shield as possible, a tier 1 dexterity and a 1 big resist, along with a crafted attack speed on the bench. For implicits, I use attack speed and chance to hinder on hit with spells. Our belt is a crystal base that has Crusader influence for the % maximum energy shield. We also want to have tier 1 armor and a big resist along with energy shield here. The armor is very important because it will allow us to heal our energy shield to the full. Our rings are corrupted implicits with +1 maximum power charge. The stats that we want are tier 1 maximum energy shield along with any resist and dexterity of strength. It is quite important to watch our stats because the build is min-maxed in such a way that the jewels matter when it comes to the total attributes needed for our gems and gears. Although not necessarily, I highly recommend coloring our gear accordingly for the 10% extra quality on their respective gems. Our flasks are a granite flask with increased armor during effect and chance to gain flask charges when you deal a critical strike. We instill it with used when you hit a rare or unique enemy. The rest of our flasks we instill with used when the charges reach full. Then we have a Quicksilver Flask with movement speed during effect and chance to gain flask charges when you deal a crit. A Diamond Flask with critical strike chance during effect and chance to gain flask charges when you deal a crit. Finally, our unique flasks are a Taste of Hate and my favorite flask, Wine of the Prophet, but you can replace this one with a Silver Flask if you have budget constraints. Regarding our passive tree, we are an assassin, so we take Mistwalker for elusive on crit and 100% decreased elusive effect. Then Unstable Fusion for +1 maximum power charge, Mystical Infusion for spell critical strike chance bifurcates, allowing us to basically double crit, and Death Mark for level 30 assassin mark on critical strike attack against rare or unique enemies. We also get more effect of our mark per power charge, which is quite potent. For the keystones that we are using, we take Chaos Inoculation to be immune to chaos damage, Inner Conviction for 3% more damage per power charge, which is a keystone transformed by our unique jewel Militant Fate. Then, by using a Thread of Hope with Large Ring, we take Glancing Blows and Divine Shield. By using the Thread of Hope, we are allowed to allocate points without being connected to the tree. So we take Light of Divinity from over here and less reservation for our auras up here. Then we path to a bunch of jewels, critical, charges and one nodes, while also getting some percent energy shield on the way for our survivability. For masteries, we take Mana Mastery for less reservation, critical damage against unique monsters, damage per charge, mastery, increased energy shield from our helmet mastery since we have a beefy helmet, and the shield mastery which gives us a bit more attack block. We also use 2 large cluster jewels, they both have the same 3 notables and 8 passive skills, Force Multiplier, Iron Breaker and Master of Fundamentals. Then we also use the 2 identical medium cluster jewels with Basic of Pain and Pressure points. Believe it or not, the dexterity rolls here are quite important for us to reach our Blade Blast requirement, so in case you need them, please purchase them like this. We use 3 regular Cobalt jewels, some of which are corrupted or have the modifier reduced effect of curses on you. By also using some tattoos of Kinokora Death Warden, we reach 100% reduced effect of curses for maximum quality of life, never having to worry about curses whatsoever. The rare jewels also have % maximum energy shield, critical strike multiplier and global physical damage. Last but not least, our unique jewels, we are using a Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flash combo for the Bomb Specialist Ascendancy. This point is giving us 30% chance to deal 50% more area damage and 30% chance to take 50% less area damage. Then Militant Fate that I briefly showed with High Templar Dominus and Elemental Resist per Devotion. The Elemental Resist per Devotion allows us to cap or resist quite easily, so I would recommend you can get one like that. And then we also use a Watcher's Eye Prismatic Jewel that gives us critical multiplier for precision, 1% max stress for purity of elements, and energy shield per enemy hit with discipline. If you have budget constraints, I would really recommend you to just get a precision plus energy shield per enemy hit from discipline Watcher's Eye, or even a 2-stat here will do the job just fine. For the extra buffs from the campaign, I killed all of the bandits for a passive skill points, and I'm using Soul of Brine King and Soul of Garokan for my pantheon. Make sure to fully upgrade those. This concludes the build guide for my Foulborn Blade Blast Assassin build. If you have questions or suggestions, please post them down below in the comment section or come ask them in chat when I stream. I'd love to have you there. Thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you soon. Exile.